Former American football runner-back OJ Simpson has died at the age of 76. Reports indicate he passed on after a battle related to cancer. Simpson was controversially acquitted in 1995 in the high-profile murder trial of his wife Nicole Brown and her friend Ron Goldman. Correspondent Sherwin Bryce-Pease joins us now from New York with the very latest. Good evening, Sherwin. OJ Simpson was once a high-profile and beloved figure in American sporting culture, only to fall spectacularly from grace after being accused of that double murder in 1994. Just remind us who he was as you also give us the very latest.
Mfundo, essentially, OJ Simpson was a household name, not only in the United States, but around the world, essentially because of his football prowess. He was at the top of his league at the time, his college days playing football. He played 11 seasons for the NFL. He making him a popular figure in American pop culture. He was inducted into the College Hall of Fame in 1983, inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1985, and back in 1968 won what was called the Heisman Trophy. The Heisman Trophy was awarded each year to the most outstanding football player in the country. So certainly a talent on the sporting field without question. But this, of course, all came crashing down when he was accused of the double murder in 1994 of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown, and a friend of hers, a gentleman named Ron Goldman. It's an arrest, Mfundo, that played itself out on live international TV, famously OJ Simpson not handing himself over to police, but rather endeavoring to make an escape in what was then a low-speed chase on a Californian highway outside Los Angeles in 1994 in a Ford Bronco SUV. He was, of course, then subsequently acquitted quite controversially in 1995 after a lengthy trial that also played itself out on our international screens. I remember being at high school at the time in South Africa, and we would go home and sit riveted in front of our television screens watching this live trial play itself out in an LA courtroom. But he was, of course, acquitted and was then later found guilty in a civil trial brought by the families of the victims, essentially Nicole Brown and Ron Goldman families, and receiving a judgment in excess of $33 million, little of which was paid to the families despite that judgment. And then subsequent to that, in 2004, he was arrested and later convicted of armed robbery in a Las Vegas, the retrieval of sports memorabilia in Las Vegas, serving 9 years of a 33-year sentence before being paroled. We received a post from the Simpson family on social media platform X a short time ago. It reads as follows: on April 10th, our father, Orenthal James Simpson, succumbed to his battle with cancer. He was surrounded by his children and grandchildren during this time of transition. His family asks that you please respect their wishes for privacy and grace. OJ Simpson, of course, dying at the age, Mfundo, of 76.
Now, we see reports that he was battling a prostate cancer, as you've shown there, even in the tweets, that diagnosis, but he not being such a public figure of late, not much detail was known about his health condition.
Yeah, you're correct in that. The news was known, but it wasn't widely publicized because this was an ex-con, essentially, right? This is not the OJ Simpson of the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. This is someone that essentially fell from grace. So, the 24/7 nature of media coverage of personalities of that nature perhaps wasn't as acute as it might have been because of the nature of his convictions and his time in prison. But I will tell you that I was going through his social media posts on X.com a short time ago, and I found a video he posted in February this year, talking a bit about the cancer diagnosis, but saying that he was going to be okay. Let's play that video, and I'll come back right after. Watch.
What a beautiful day it is here in Las Vegas. Even though the game is indoors, it wouldn't have mattered, but still, it's nice to have a beautiful day like this. Hey, let me take a moment to say thank you to all the people who've reached out to me. My health is good. I mean, obviously, I'm dealing with some issues, but hey, I think I'm just about over it, and I'll be back on that golf course, hopefully in a couple of weeks. But it was very nice hearing from you and hearing those good, positive words. Thank you.
talking there in February about getting back to the golf course from Funda, but of course that didn't happen. Of course, succumbing now, as we are learning, to prostate cancer. OJ Simpson again, 76, after a sterling career on the football pitch, but of course falling from grace in relation to that murder trial in the 1990s and subsequently in 2007 being convicted of armed robbery in Las Vegas.